Hey guys, welcome back, and it has been an interesting couple of days for cancellations, I guess you could call it. So one of the most obvious ones that we could definitely see coming was this whole thing with Drew Barrymore resuming her silly talk show. I think it's on that global TV network that's in Canada, the same one that's doing that race-swapped Robin Hood remake. But anyways, Drew Barrymore, she went back to work. I want to say it was the WGA, the actual Writers Guild Association, and SAG-AFTRA, the Actors Guild, might have also approved it, but I'm pretty sure this just had to go through WGA because she had to get writers who weren't associated with WGA. So they approved her show to go back on, and then what? They made it a couple of days, and due to all the backlash, all the hate that she was receiving, she decided to say, nope, we're going to wait until the strike's over. I can't do this anymore. And to be honest, I mean, I don't feel sorry for anybody in Hollywood, but I definitely think of all the people who probably need the money, Drew Barrymore is probably at the top of that list. Like, let's be honest, she doesn't really have much of a career anymore. And then we've got this whole thing with Lauren Boebert, or Boebert as we should start calling her from now on. Look, I think this is kind of a nothing burger and kind of stupid and cringe all at the same time. I have plenty of issues with Boebert. Just as a politician and as a person, I think she's completely cringe. I think, but then again, I think most politicians are, to be honest. It's not a Republican versus Democrat thing. I think she's just like super annoying. But this whole thing, I do think to a certain degree is being blown out of proportion. But I can also see the flip side of it, where it's like, come on, she's a freaking congressperson. Like, if you're gonna get if someone's going to cop a feel, try to not get caught. But then there's the whole night vision camera thing, so it's a big mess. People are calling for her to resign and stuff. I think it's stupid, but it's whatever. Then you have one that's slightly more serious. Then you get to Russell Brand. Russell Brand, interesting guy. Somebody who I don't necessarily like look up to or have to think about like everything he says. Because honestly, I don't understand why certain people are instantly... I get that he's charismatic. I get why people are drawn to him as far as like when he talks, people listen. I don't know why people have him up on a pedestal, because he is honestly just a possibly reformed or not even reformed Hollywood degenerate elitist that went from his disgusting sexually promiscuous lifestyle to where now he's dispensing like guru wisdom pills in his YouTube videos. And look, he has a lot of good opinions. I'm not saying the guy doesn't have a lot of opinions that I agree with. I just don't put him up on a pedestal because that's always dangerous, and I don't know him to do that. So we have the situation where he's being accused of all sorts of bad behavior, we'll say, from different women, dating back to as much as what? I think some of these go back to 2006. I mean, basically, it's in that peak period of his career when he was at his most famous. And so women saying that he forced himself on them, women saying that he did things to them because of the fact that they refused him, and so he got, his way with them. But then there's a lot more to it than that. I mean, he essentially is being canceled by everybody because, look, his management company is terminating his ties with him following the allegations. Now, these are just allegations. Charges had not been filed. Basically, it was a combined hit piece by a few different outlets that did a lot of interviews with women that had been with him in the past because he was very open about his promiscuous lifestyle. And so they did this expose on him where they basically got a hit piece of all these women that had something to say about him from his past, and had all these claims, not that any files were actually charged, and released this statement. And so here's Russell directly addressing it. I'll just play this little snippet right here.
I don't mind them using my books and my stand-up to talk about my promiscuous consensual conduct in the past. What I seriously refute are these very, very serious criminal allegations. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these two mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack.
Now, I don't know about the veracity of that. I don't know that actually exists as far as the evidence that will clear his name. I mean, to be honest, you could just go off of what these women said and it would look incredibly bad. But if you are going to be a little bit more honest with yourself about it, you got to realize this dude went from being kind of like a B-level, maybe A-lister at the moment, celebrity, to where now all of a sudden he's got a huge following between his YouTube channel and his podcast he does with other people, talking about all sorts of things, the no-no things you don't really want to talk about on YouTube. And somebody had shared screenshots before. I'm not seeing them right now. Let me see if I can find them. Somebody had shared screenshots of the text messages, supposedly the text messages between him and one of the victims. But at this point now, it seems that there's a lot of controversy, a lot of discrepancy about how the text messages look. They seem blurry, they seem muddy. There's a lot of discrepancy in the language where there was a U omitted from behavior or color, things that he would have used being a British man versus the way that they were released to the press. I don't know. There's a lot of discrepancy. A lot of people have a lot of strong opinions on this. Me personally, I think it's possible, but at the same time, I think it's possible that they're going to try to go after him because of the fact that he's counter to the mainstream. He is definitely in opposition to the mainstream. And this little clip from him on Bill Maher, hopefully YouTube doesn't have a problem with this. I don't think he says anything in this clip that goes against YouTube's terms, but we'll just have to play it and see it. A lot of people are pointing to this being the moment that the mainstream media coordinated to go after this guy.
The pandemic created at least 40 new big pharma billionaires. Pharmaceutical corporations like Moderna and Pfizer made $1,000 of profit every second from the COVID-19 vaccine. More than two-thirds of Congress received campaign funding from pharmaceutical companies in the 2020 election. Pfizer chairman Albert Bourla told Time magazine in July 2020 that his company was developing a COVID vaccine for the good of humanity, not for money. And of course, Pfizer made $100 billion in profit in 2022.
I don't want to go any further. I think those are all fact-based statements by brands, so I don't think that YouTube's going to have a problem with it. But I definitely think it puts a perspective on it that there are people who are going after him in a coordinated fashion due to the fact that he has some very strong opinions about things that go counter to the mainstream narrative. And it puts a big target on his back, to be honest. Now, again, do I think he's anybody special? Personally, no. I listen to him as much as I listen to Joe Rogan, which is to say once when I see a clip every 6 months. It's nothing against the guy. I just don't personally care what he necessarily has to say. And he has some smart opinions, fine. But do I absolutely believe that he's innocent? I have no idea. It's not for me to decide. Because personally, he deserves the benefit of the doubt from the actual justice system. People can have their opinions about him. They're going to anyways. We can't stop that. It's a shame that he is being canceled without charges actually being filed and without a chance for him to clear himself. I mean, look, small scale version. This is like Joe Biden comparing his Corvette to the Maui fire. I got struck from Twitter, banned from Twitter for 16 days of me. I had to email them every single day, hundreds of appeals. I was even trying to find the number for HQ to get a hold of somebody because I was wrongfully suspended over a GIF, over a meme that was done in hyperbole. It was just done to be silly. I post a lot of memes on Twitter, but somebody flagged it for a violent content policy breach. And I got suspended without any chance to defend myself for 16 days. So look, this is much larger scale. This is him. He has to clear his name essentially, and he might never be able to get his career back after this. And I know he's not acting as like a Hollywood celebrity at this point now, but this will tarnish a lot of people's opinions of him. A lot of people who used to think that he was this great, amazing, incredible thinker now think that it's very possible he's just this scumbag, degenerate, predator, basically. And if he's not, it sucks. If he did it, that's terrible. But I think people need to stop jumping to conclusions and stop putting people like this on pedestals. So when this kind of stuff happens, you can step back more objectively and say, maybe it's true, but let's wait and see what happens. Either way, share your thoughts down below, guys. I'm curious what all of you think about this, and we will see you on the next one. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. We do have 2 channels, one for daily uploads, the other one for more of my live streams and hot takes. Links to both are down below, as well as the ability to join as a channel member for as little as $3 a month, and that'll greatly help us out. Much appreciated. We also have links to our Etsy accounts down below, as well as our website. We also have locals and Subscribestar. If you didn't want to support us on YouTube, you can support us through those. Thanks again for being here, and we will see you on the next one.